Also, something really helpful if you want to keep coming along to this group, invite your friends, but add a little reoccurring event into your calendar, because that way you can plan for it and just set some time aside. This week, the structure is going to be a little different to last week. We're going to be interacting a little bit more. But before we get going, I just want to light a candle, good old matches today, and set the intention. So here we go. Our intention for this evening is to come together as a group to amplify the energy that all of us feels deep down inside of us, and to make it even brighter and more intense and send it out to all of our loved ones, all of humanity, all the leaders of the world, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and to dear planet Earth, and also the whole universe, and to just send love to amplify this healing energy and bring it back right into ourselves. How delicious is that? Feeling nice and warm and fuzzy and enjoying this space here. Okay. So I thought it'd be really nice if you guys put a little thought into, to start with, to come up with 3 words. 3 words. The first one, something that you'd like to release here in this sacred space tonight. And the second word, something you'd like to bring in, and something you would like to celebrate. And so if you are able to comment in the chat, please go ahead, or share it in the messenger group, or write it on your notebook there. I know if you've got your mobile phone, it's hard to do the chat thing. So I've just put it there in the chat. 3 words, something to release, something to bring in, and something to celebrate. So I'm going to share first, if that's all right. I haven't even thought mine through yet. So what I'm wanting to release is expectation. Expectation that I can control people, that they will do what I say, that they will listen to me. And I'd like, sorry, that wasn't one word, but you get the gist. What I'd like to bring in is more tolerance. Wow, I could do with a hell of a lot more tolerance at the moment. And what I'm celebrating is that we're all here. Yeah, we're all here because I got to tell you, the impact that what we're doing right now is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. And I know that there's people all over the world doing this right now. So if you're, you know, be in a group, be in more than one group, wherever it is, we're all contributing now. And this is amazing because what's going on now, what we're contributing to is global. So we are so not alone, guys. And what we're doing now, being here together, we're tapping into the great extension of what everyone else is doing globally. So this is just so awesome. So I'm going to invite you guys to share your 3 words. So just take it in turns. We'll just go. There's not that many of us tonight. So unmute and then tell us what your 3 words are. Take it in turns. Off you go.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
I've written also in the chat, but just to release fear and to invite in love, lots of love, and just to celebrate life, being alive and being here, and just to remember that. Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Who's next?
There's quite a few written in the chat box if you're able to read them. Do you want me to read them out?
That's all right. I can read them.
Cool.
So Gretcha, we've got release fear, bring in the peace, And to celebrate my newly walking toddler. Woohoo! How cute is that? It's so nice to have that young, fresh energy here, that vibrancy, and all these new babies who are going to be living in this new world. Far out. It's just like incomprehensible, really, isn't it? So Candice, we've got letting go of fear, not being in control, bringing in allowance, and celebrating knowing. Oh, who's celebrating the knowing? Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Okay, so we've got Robin is letting go of intolerance. Bringing in support. Yeah, we're here for you, sister. And celebrating abundance. Abundance in everything. Abundance in health, abundance in friendship, abundance in patience, abundance in rainbows, abundance in everything. Yeah, feathers. I'm seeing feathers everywhere. Oh my God, I have to tell you a quick story. I was walking home. I always float home from work after doing my healing sessions. And literally, I'm not joking you, I saw a big feather swirl around, dropping out of the sky and just landing on the ground. And there was no birds around. I went up and picked the feather up, and it was so tattered and tethered, like it was almost nothing left on it. And I was like, oh, that's how I feel right now. And I was like, thank you. So we got Sonia. Sonia is releasing fear. Good. I love, there's a good theme going on here. Bringing in trust in the universe. Yes. And celebrating and inspiring others. Inspiring others is the celebration. Yeah, that's what we're here to do. It's the ripple effect for sure. If anyone wants to read out their own, just start talking on top of me. It's okay. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Oh, hang on. What we've got, celebrate. Robin said celebrate inspiring others, as in celebrate the strong people who inspire me to keep going. Oh, we're all strong here. That's so sweet. Love that. And Anita, release my clutter. Yeah. Oh my God, my house at the moment, I just had to let go and just let it clutter. Bring in harmony. Yeah, for sure. And to celebrate joy, love, and laughter. It's beautiful. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, me.
Go.
Releasing in my body. I've achieved some great things. So just letting go at a cellular level, letting go in the body, and bringing in creative wholeness ventures, and celebrating my achievement with what I've done in the last year and getting myself my new homeland.
Yay. I love it. Thanks for sharing, Helen. Woohoo. Yeah, it's good because, you know, we've got to celebrate everyone's big achievements, because this is all, like, these achievements are for all of us, you know. I mean, yes, it might be somebody else having a good run, but what that does is it brings all of us up, you know. It's for the whole collective. Anyone else want to share? Okay. So what I might do now is do a bit of a screen share. I want to talk about frequency tonight. So I'm going to pull up this. Can you guys see this screen? It's got a colorful rainbow picture. Yes, is that nodding?
Yep.
Yep, cool. Awesome. So what's interesting is being aware of our frequency in our body is absolutely vital. And I really love this diagram that we've got here, because it demonstrates all the level of emotions and the frequencies that they hold. One of the things that is so interesting is that when we talk about viruses, coronaviruses, you can see over here, this image, the blue and green one over here. Colds and flus start at 57, 60 hertz. Okay, that's a frequency, a measure. If you're a musical person, you'll know hertz is what they measure, notes, sound waves, and you can actually measure the frequency of the human body. So you can see in that same image The human brain frequency is at 72 to 90 hertz, and the human body is around 60 to 80 hertz. So our natural frequency is above colds and flus. Now, I'm going to be a little presumptuous here, and I'm going to put coronavirus in around that area, the colds and flu area. And so if we look over here at this chart, that's down at the levels of apathy, the feelings of guilt, feeling like a victim. Now, it's okay to go in waves of these kinds of feelings. It's actually really normal and really natural to have waves of emotions. The thing we want to be aware of is how long we sit there for. So if you're going to sit in your melancholy for a couple of days and not try to help yourself, it can be detrimental for your body. And we know that sometimes when we're run down, when we're burning the candle at both ends, that's when a cold can come in. Sometimes it's tricky to know how to help ourselves. And so if we're down here in the oranges and the yellows of this diagram, it's actually really tricky to know how to help yourself, because that part of our brain that does know what to do, how to raise your vibration, is actually switched off. So sometimes it's nice to have a few things written down or know what works well for you. And I referred to that last week about having 5 things that you know that make you feel good. If we can distract for a bit, then we can deliberately start increasing our vibration. So if you look here, it says the body is actually becoming expansive once you head up into these blue, purple, and pink areas. And this is going into creative energy. And on the left here, we actually are dissolving any low vibration, any low frequency when we're up around the love level, which is 500. So this is actually really, really powerful when we're looking at healing the body. Now, this also applies with things like shedding, also with things like side effects of having the vaccine. This also applies with things like fear. So fear was mentioned a couple times of things that we'd like to release from the body. And that's fantastic, because you can see being down here at 100, the good news is it's not down at the, the cold and flu area, but it's definitely something to be aware of when you are in that state of fear. Now, I want to talk about the significance of the frequency in the body, because me, for example, I have a number of health concerns going on in my body, quite a few of them hereditary, and some of them just come up in tests and things. And so this is where I want to talk about epigenetics. Epigenetics, put very, very simply, means that we can deliberately change our X and Y chromosomes and the way that symptoms present in their body by literally changing the frequency in the body. So, I mean, I'll just list a few significant ones. I've got HPV virus, MTHFR chromosome, bulge discs in my lower back and my neck. I've got an autoimmune disease, hemochromatosis, right? The list does keep going on. But I don't feel any of the symptoms of these things at all, because I have worked on deliberately changing the frequency of my body through training my mind, through training my thoughts. And it all comes down to the thought. It's the first place, because a thought then changes into an emotion then changes into a belief, and then the belief then changes into the frequency of the body. And depending on what it is, that can be where ease or dis-ease begins. So I'm bloody chuffed, to have bulge discs and still go swimming in the ocean 3 times a week is just sensational. And that's through training my thoughts. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I definitely can hang around in the yellow and orange areas sometimes. I just had a case of it this afternoon when the kids were fighting over who had the biggest piece of ice cream cake for Emma's birthday. But, you know, you don't stay there, and you find those things that as soon as you recognize that you're not feeling good, as soon as you recognize that you're in fear, what is it that's going to snap you out of it? So that's really helpful to know. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. Resume share. How do I do that? Stop share. There we go. Oh, that's nice to see your pretty faces again. Yeah, so the good news is that you guys are in charge of your thoughts. And yeah, you're in charge of the frequency of your body. What's also helpful to know is that there are a lot of people out there who are not so much at a level that you're at. Now, in your home, you're going to be dealing with some people who don't quite understand you, and with your friends and in your workplaces. What I'd like you guys to recognize, because I'm sure you already know this anyway, this is just a reminder. When you're vibrating somewhere around content, somewhere around fulfilled, all right, we're not looking for happy, like bright happiness up here or love. I mean, that's nice. Don't get me wrong, that's beautiful. And if you can deliberately play with that each night in your meditation, bringing in gratitude, good on you. That's excellent. But I'm just talking generally throughout the day. If you can maintain an energy of content, that's still really high. Now, the people that you're bumping into and that are around you, they have no choice but to either come up and meet you where you're at, or you've got to drop your frequency down to meet where they're at, because you actually cannot communicate. You cannot hear or see each other when you're up here and they're here. So it's your choice how you hold your energy in that moment. And sometimes it's just taking a few breaths. Sometimes it's talking yourself through it. And sometimes you'll actually drop your frequency unintentionally, which happens to me all the bloody time. But then I'll catch myself and I'll go, right, this is not what I choose. And so I'll pull myself back up. And the more we can do that, especially around home, I mean, most of us have got extra people in the house, and more often at the moment, especially if you're in Melbourne. The more often you can do that, we start to change the vibration of the whole house, and everyone starts to become more comfortable with where you're at, and they're starting to rewire their neurological pathways and their hardwiring to step up to where you're at. So it's helpful to know that you are in charge of how someone else is going to respond to you, whether you hold your frequency up or if you drop down to their level. Cool. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is open it up to a bit of sharing, if that's okay. So I'm going to share in the little chat group the questions that I've got for you guys. And if anyone feels inclined to share, it'll be really nice, because it's nice to hear what everyone's going through and what we're all doing to support ourselves. But before we do that, I might do a little intro. We've got some new people here this week, and they're probably wondering what's going on. So just I'll be very quick. When the coronavirus all started, I had some information that I downloaded that this was a moment for us to all step up. And I knew that I was given some instructions, and not everyone else knew how to do something to help the collective. So what I wanted to do was get the word out. And so I created this little ebook called Rise Above. And it's a spiritual and physical protocol. So the first part of the book is 3 steps on how you can process a lot of the fear that's going on. And this is something that has come up as a lot of people here want to release. There is a lot of fear. And the step 1 is a beautiful, simple little tool that you can use. So I really encourage you to read it. Step 2, I'm going to run through that in our little meditation tonight. It's a very, very powerful declaration of self-sovereignty. It clears out everything and it just brings everything into alignment. And then the second part is the physical protocol, and that's doing all the things we need to do to boost our immune system for us to be really strong and healthy, to avoid shedding symptoms, and if you've had the vaccine, to deal with any side effects and to make sure that your body's really, really strong and you're feeling confident in your own choices. So that's the main point of that book. And this group is to come together so we can create a ripple effect, go out and raise the energy of the collective consciousness, raise the energy of planet Earth, and this is what we can do. So many of us feel like our hands are tied behind our back. We want to be contributing more, and this is how we can go about doing it. So there's my little intro. So you can see the questions there. If anyone wants to volunteer to share a little bit about what you're navigating right now, what you're going through, and what you're doing to support yourself, and then anything that you'd like for support from this group tonight. If no one wants to share, that's okay, but I just thought it would be really nice if someone wants to. So just start talking over the top of everyone. Off you go.
I'm happy to start.
Thanks.
I yesterday afternoon received an absolute crazy message on Facebook from somebody I haven't seen or heard from in about 15 years. That was accusational and threatening and unbelievably not true. I have no idea why or how they sent me this message, but I just felt that it was, you know, one of those things that the past is still trying to grab at me, and I need to push through and swim and just ignore it. And I've just been spending a lot of time in the sun and in my yard, and I didn't respond or thing, but it was absolute, almost hilarious. It was just crazy. But yeah, so that was question 1 and question 2. And what was the third question? What support? Well, just knowing that I have people to discuss the crazy things that go on in my life, and hopefully you guys are happy to share your crazy things going on in your lives. So that's me. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Sharon. I know you're a bit shy sometimes with sharing,
Yes,
so that was
very
really
much so.
Thank you for putting yourself out there. And wow, how awesome that you just didn't respond. Yay!
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Sunshine is medicine too. Well done, honey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well done. Who else
And
would like to go? Talk
Is
over
med-
us.
I'll go.
Yay.
I'm Robin, and this is my first time here, so thank you for having me. What am I navigating right now? I'm very proud of what I've navigated so far. I'm a nurse and I work in a major hospital in Geelong. And I'm navigating a bunch of people I work with, and they're just the most amazing, beautiful people who I haven't found one in about a team of about 35 of us who has not had the 2 injections.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
Out of my team of nurses and clerks and doctors that I work with, that I think I'm the only one out of about 35, maybe even 40 staff members that haven't had the injection.
Everyone, sorry, I need to interrupt. That's just beautiful. Everyone, can we just give ourselves a hug for Robin? Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's a big achievement.
Well done.
And that's now leading to most of those staff members wanting to and have already booked their teenage children and are waiting to book their 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds in for injections. And it breaks my heart. And it's very hard not to tell them, please don't, or please wait, or can I just give you some information that I have, that I've researched, that I believe will help you make a different choice. But I stand in my own power. I observe. I'm doing a lot of observing of life, and I have for quite some time. Particularly at work. When I'm at home, it's not so bad. I've got family here, and I've always brought them up around natural therapies and homeopathics and Reiki, reflexology, energy healing, and they're all, you know, very grateful for how well they are, and they're quite happy not to follow with the codes and not to get the injections. And it's all right, we'll have our own parties at home. We don't need to be out at other people's parties. So that's what I'm navigating every day at work, every day. And it usually takes me a day or two to unwind. Wow. So I work 4 days a week. So what I do is I meditate. I belong to an international group that I've been with for nearly 2 years now, of Thankfully Awakened Souls, and we do a lot of work. And there's an Australian group as well, and we do a lot of guided meditations between us to bring healing to Australia and connect us with the Indigenous people. And we work with the waterways, and we work with the sea animals, and we work with our animals. And we pull in, we pull in our guides and our people who have passed, and we try our best to send love and blessings to the doctors and nurses who are deciding to have these injections and to give the injections, and to our politicians. When I say trying hard, we do it. We do it when we're in meditation. It was very difficult at the start. Now we do it with as much of an open heart as any one of us can. What do I want from this group? I'm just amazed that there's another group of enlightened, beautiful people out there. And I don't know whether you're all from Melbourne, but you're all a lot closer to me if you are, than the group that I work with across the whole of Australia and New Zealand. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I think everyone is Melbourne here at the moment. I know there's quite a few into Australia wide, but I think tonight everyone is Melbourne. We're here for you, honey.
Thank you.
I think that no strength to work in an environment like that 4 days a week. I've just spent a couple of days in my mum's nursing home where everyone except 3 residents has had double jabs, and I think she was suffering from the shedding with a bleeding eye. Last week she had a seizure. She's unvaccinated. The energy in the place is horrific, and I really suffered from it. And I love it. So I admire you incredibly for being able to work in that environment.
Well,
I too in the hospital, so I know what you're feeling.
And we've actually I've been told that I'm going to be not sacked, but
redeployed,
moved to another area. But they can't move too many of us because most of the anaesthetists are also unvaccinated, from what I've learnt very recently. And so we're not going to have anaesthetists for ICU or ED or theatres. So Deployed. We're going to be deployed.
Yeah, it's gonna come undone for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go in every day. As I said, I don't know another person in the whole hospital that's not jabbed, but I believe there is lots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So thank you.
Thanks, Robin.
Maybe we could do with the pink heart idea, so you can know, who you
Good
can
idea.
talk to, know who you can just give a hug to and talk to.
The secret code.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
So it's not bananas in the front of your trolley?
Ooh. Mm.
Who's next?
Gotta look at
What I'm navigating is in the purchase of my home and land, is that, as Jane pointed out, who's at a birthday party, she's not on tonight's call, she was here last week, that she looked up the agents I'm dealing with, and she said I have about kind of like the worst, I'm dealing with the worst, like the most in the old paradigm. So, but I'm purchasing as a free living woman. I'm not gonna I'm making sure I take the steps with non-lawyers and non-accountants to set up, so I'm not I'm not stuck with the Corporation of Australia. So that's a bit of a navigation. Like right now, I've got 2 weeks to settlement, and I haven't yet found a conveyancer who will work with me and not put my name, already contract me to different bodies. I said, all I want is the title filed, nothing else. And so I've got till the end of Monday to sort that out, but that's a navigation, and it's been challenging on lots of fronts, but I'm non-negotiable. I'm having it. And if I don't get a conveyancer, I'll do it myself. I mean, my non-lawyer friend does court by himself. So I'll do it. It's non-negotiable. I'm a free living woman, and I'm going to own my own land to care for the land. So how I'm supporting myself is to I say the words undo when I notice I've like engaged in what I refer to as my slave self. It's not me. It's like a personality or a structure that's the programming that we've had for generations. So if I feel, like I have this conveyancer comes back with me with a list of 5 questions I just can't answer. I can't answer technically to them, and I've got to get my accountant. It's the weekend, and I can get to freak out if I let my slave self grab onto that and pull me in and fix me in that difficult image. So I'll just say undo, and I can feel it sort of releasing.
Wow.
And then I'll say transmute, and then generate, and I can shift. And it's from Jacqueline Hobbs, Oracle Girl. She's given us those words, and I can really
Helen,
feel
I
those
love
words.
that. Helen, I'm going to write it down. What was that? Undo, transmute, and
generate.
Generate. Oh my God, so good. What
she says to do is, in the undo phase, when you feel like your body, you can feel your body tighten it, and your state doesn't feel good, is you stop, hold your breath for 6 seconds and say undo, and then hold your breath for 6 seconds. So your body is doing nothing. It's perfectly still, and you can feel that dramatic. She said there is so much going on then when you hold your breath for the 6 seconds. So that's been my key. I go out and put my feet on the earth till I go out. and reconnect in nature. So what support would I like from the group? Well, for me, it's just being able to share that, okay, so I feel supported because I'm able to share with you something that's helping me go through this with absolute determination and using my multidimensional self, giving it the list, go create and tell my body the little steps the body's got to do. And so it's just really lovely for me to share that. Thank you.
Wow, Helen. What I love that what you're doing there is you're the trailblazer. You know, you're creating the path for us who are all a little bit nervous, or we're not fully educated or in the same position as you. And you're giving us confidence that, you know, there's people out there doing it, you, and that one day when we're ready, we can come and ask you.
Yes, you can.
But you're breaking up the energy around the density around this so that we can become more sovereign. That's just so beautiful. So congratulations. And the thing that what's actually happening in the biological thing of holding your breath for 6 seconds, anytime you actually hold your breath or you breathe out longer than your breathe in, so your exhale is longer than your inhale, you're actually switching the brain into alpha brain waves. And so it's switching the body out of fight or flight, and you're activating your vagus nerve and you're going into the parasympathetic nervous system. And so that is such a clever tool there, just to hold your breath and go undo. I mean, I think that's just gold. So well done, honey.
All credit to Jacqueline Hobbs.
Yeah, well done. And now thank you to you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Who else would like to share?
I will, if my link doesn't send me off like it did just then.
I know what that's like.
You do. So, oh my God, I had an amazing week. Turned up at my mother's nursing home, or rang to book a time to see her on Thursday. And when I rang up, they said, oh, she had a bit of a turn yesterday. She had a seizure. And she was out to it for about a minute, just not aware. And it could have been anything. And I thought, oh God, maybe they vaccinated her behind my back because my siblings want to do it. And since I'd handed over care of my mother to my siblings, one of which lives in New South Wales, after 10 years of basically doing it myself with a bit of help from the one here, they're angry and they leave me out of everything. So I hadn't even been told that our mother had had this seizure. And when I turned up, she was really weak. I just thought she was on her way out, that she was dying. And I spoke with Judith over the phone, and she said maybe it's the shedding of everyone in the environment. There's only 3 residents being unvaccinated, very dangerous for them, really. So I think it was actually that, not just because she's actually very strong. And it affected me really deeply. I had to go and have a healing, which helped. And it released a lot. What happened with the whole situation was it released a lot of anger at my siblings, because they're very, very, very unfair, very unreasonable. They just will not see what I have given. Just always see me in the worst light possible. And I'm the most responsible of them, the most considerate of any of us. So that had gone really deep, and seeing my mother like that and realizing that, having left my husband and leaving the security of the big house and the place where the children could go and me during the COVID, like live with us as a family, and having lost one child to suicide as a result of too many things to talk about. And that meant also that I wasn't able to be there for my mother in the last year and a half, because all that stress had created a torn coronal artery. I'd had to recover. I thought, it's either you or me, Mum. And I handed her over to my siblings, and they had no respect for any of what I'd gone through. It was all bitching behind my back. So going to my mum was healing. Going to my healer, he healed. Well, he helped me release that heartache, and I got back into myself. And then I went to see my mum today, and usually, here's a good thing, usually I'm always sort of fitting in with, like, I hadn't booked to see my mother, and I said, and they'd said, oh, we can let you see her out in the courtyard, which is outside. I'm going, no, she had a seizure the other day. She can't see through one eye. You don't go and put her out in the wind. I'm coming in. And I fought back, and I got in. I spent the day with her, and we had the loveliest day. Once again, I was massaging her and holding her hand and just sitting and doing some work, and peaceful. And I just thought, fuck it, fuck them all. There's so much hypocrisy in that place. And there was an enormous healing in that. And today was no longer guilt at, oh, I've let you down. Because during that time, after that first visit, and it was that morning that I got to swim with the dolphins. So I think they really gave me a lot of strength, to cope with that situation. But it was like I realized all those 10 years of looking after her and struggling with a son who was being sexually abused behind my back and not knowing it, and wondering why there was this toxic energy in the house, and not being able to leave my husband because he'd stop it all the time. That powerlessness, that exhaustion, that enslavement, I tasted it again in the guilt of not being there for my mum. And it's like I recognized that I was not going to survive if I kept that life up, that I'd broken something. And even though the coming back or coming to this point where I am now, I felt totally broken. I felt many times like I just wanted to die, so horrified. But I had to go through all of that loss and horror, and finding that my son is still there with me, finding that my mother, although she may be dying, she'll be 90 if she makes it in November, she's still there for me, despite our toxic relation all these years. I've spent years healing that toxic relationship with her. And today I recognized all that. And as I drove away, I went, wow, if I hadn't been through all that in the last 3.5, 4 years, I would not have the wisdom or strength or know how to manage this fucking situation we're in now. And I'm just, it's not, of course it's not easy, but I recognize how to get through it more. I'm beginning to go, I'm safe. I'm actually safe. Yeah. Still a long way to go, but it's a different thing. And actually hearing you all talk so far has made me feel less alone even, and hearing the trickinesses of what you've gone through and knowing what that can be like responding to a Facebook feed or thing that's just a split. Someone just wants to throw their shit out and they throw it at you, and then you just go, nah, not accepting it. That's your stuff. You have that response, right? You have that response of, and then you let it drop. You go and sit in the garden and feel the sun on you, and that's it. So just more of that. Let's support each other in understanding. I love it. Thanks. That's a spiel and a half.
Big hug for Claire, everyone.
Thanks. Yeah, big growth. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing, darling. That sounds so big, what you've been through, and you've
Yeah.
learned so much, and it's
Oh.
got you ready for what we're doing now.
I wish I didn't have to do it though. But yeah, I did. Mm,
Thank you.
mm.
Who else would like to share?
I can share, Daniella.
Please.
Hi guys, I'm Candice. At the moment, I'm navigating what it feels like and what this world feels like ascending. I'm also navigating my husband being in construction.
Oh God.
Everything that's just going on with that at the moment. So I actually feel quite broken. Yeah, it's really hard. Speaking to a couple of friends today, I know I've been put here right now to feel what I need to feel and to be who I need to be. And it's, for the past 6 months, it's like I've been fast-tracked into dealing with my own healings. And it's so powerful what's going on. I'm so scared. But it's like there's like this wall that continually comes up with every barrier that's being put in front of me from our dictatorship that supposedly runs our states and runs our countries. It's navigating who I always was meant to be through all of this. And it's full on. And I guess all of you sort of understand that as well, where I still can't believe what we're experiencing and what we're seeing with humanity is happening. But what's happening within me and the healing that's going on is, I can't believe it. The way I feel and the instant realizations that I have of changing a paradigm or understanding why something specific happened to me to heal something that was going on within my family. I surprise myself sometimes, I guess, where I have this innate power to do this. And the things that are constantly helping me is writing. I write every single day.
Wow.
I think days ago I filled half a notebook. I just write exactly what I'm feeling. Meditations, I meditate every day. I have 2 children at home, so I have a nearly 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I just take the time out for me. I know I need that. I also walk a lot. I walk in nature. I know when my body needs to release energy, and at the moment this is the only thing that you can do in Melbourne. So I go out to a park that's nearby where it's just filled with trees and it's just like I'm in another space. And I do that, if not every day, every second day. I also have had a lot of beautiful healing sessions with Daniella. and another guy that I also see. I'm having these sessions quite frequently because I feel I know what's within me needs to pass. And I also, this last session that I had this week was also understanding that I'm not doing this for myself anymore. I'm doing it for the collective. I'm doing it, and it just hit me. I'm like, I'm working on stuff generations, and the power that I have. I'll talk you through a situation which actually happened a couple of weeks ago, whereby I had a beautiful healing session with Daniella about my mother, and that weekend I had to have emergency surgery for my appendix, and that was another story in itself.
That was a shock. That was a shock, that emergency.
Yeah, that was a huge shock. And that was another experience. I had two massive fears of having a COVID test and also being within a hospital environment with everything that's going on right now. And I was put under the, not microscope, but I was pretty much told that if I did not have, so that was very, I really couldn't believe I was put in that space of what I was hearing. I just couldn't believe it. I was very upset, very emotional, very distraught. But once I sort of came to, I asked a lot of questions with the surgeons and doctors, and I had 4 of them different times come up to me and say, you need to have this test, and I refused it. And why? And just lots of questions, opening them up to, well, something as simple as, I'd like to know how long it would take to get the test results back. Oh, no, you don't need to know that. You'll have your surgery, that's fine. It's like, well, why the test? I'm completely healthy. I have absolutely no symptoms whatsoever. You're opening me up to, and basically they said that I was putting them at risk. And I knew I was just in that space to open up just a little bit more to them about how a patient was feeling. But yeah, to be refused surgery for not having a COVID test was very interesting experience. But later after that happened, and with the healing session with Daniella, I was put in a circumstance where I thought, this is going to be crazy. Just the kids and Matt, who's an essential worker, who's my husband, to care for me. And I contacted my brother and I said, hey, listen, can my mum be a carer? She lives in Gippsland in Traralgon, so they're still restricted, and I hadn't seen her in months. And then he's like, you got to call the COVID hotline. So I did that. I didn't do it because I really couldn't be bothered, to be honest. And then he had called back and said, Mum can be a carer. And one thing I'd worked on with Daniella was hugs. And I tell you what, this last 2 weeks that I've had with my mother, who's stayed here at my home, the relationship is just completely different. So me knowing that I needed to go through that for us to experience what we needed to experience together and for our relationship to evolve has let that go. I've let that go. With as traumatic as it was, I knew all of that needed to happen for me to be able to be there with her and for her to relax and love being around me also. Sorry, I've gone on a bit of a tangent as well. But yeah, the things that meditation, writing all the time, everything that Daniella's given me in terms of sovereignty and things like that. Healings, nature, I eat very healthy, take all the vitamins and nutrition and all. I don't drink, don't smoke. And in terms of this group, it's just even from last week to this week, knowing I've got this space with you guys to just be me. It's very interesting in terms of friendships and so forth, and the people that really understand you and get you. Even family that our family are still not, they're on a different different understanding in terms of what's going on with them, because I know they're all on their journeys too. But it's really nice to be able to be in that space and just share and be vulnerable, and to have healings and meditations. And yeah, so thank you everyone for listening as well. Thanks, guys.
Big hugs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, it's
Yeah.
interesting what you've been through, Candice, this week with your husband. And I've seen 2 other patients this week who are in the construction industry. And basically, this week was the week that they had to get their first vaccine. And so I've been seeing them and their partners because they're distraught. But, you know, the thing that is absolutely huge that you've realized, and everyone, for us all to realize, is there actually isn't a wrong choice. And it's so helpful for us to realize that the thing that is causing more damage in the body is the fear and the frustration and the anger and the sadness.
It was really interesting. One thing that I also realised today was my highest value is health. My husband's highest value is family. So his way to support his family and to honour his highest value is to provide for them.
Absolutely.
So if he needs to do to stay with his value, so he's in alignment, it just has to happen.
Yep.
And as much like but there's so many things that come up with it, because it's like, yes, there's that, but it's knowing what I know, but then there's all the fears for me of not being in control, not having the power, death, all that stuff. So it's dealing with that. It's just at such a fast rate that sometimes I'm like, oh. But I know that I'm meant to clear all this stuff and heal, and I'm doing it for my kids too. Like, I can't just sit in a corner and do nothing, because I have them. I have to show them.
Yeah.
Could I ask a couple of questions?
Go ahead.
Does anybody know what proof they're asking for? What is it that they're looking for? The little cards, or are they going to look up the my health records? What does anybody know?
That my husband's he's been with them for over 20 years. So his boss has been really actually quite gentle in saying that you don't have to get it. We're not making you get it, but we are following the rules of the government. So he's a foreman, so he's in charge of a group of people as well. And I get it with him, like he's frustrated and he's just over it, because he's had so many co-workers and everything for the last year and a half, which this has all been going on for as well. It's, to my knowledge, they're not asking for anything at the moment. There's just so many industries that are in just such complete fear of not being in business anymore and having these massive crashed out fines that are just absurd, which don't hold any weight, but they're just following suit of what is going on. So yeah, I haven't heard that they're asking for proof as such yet. That's why I'm continually just asking him to just hold off, just wait even another day until they say that's it. And these guys have got till Thursday. So this Thursday, the 23rd. But yeah, and that's with all. it's just of not having a job, and for me, and I know for a lot of males as well, particularly males, that's what they've been brought up to do, to provide for their family, and the best way they know how to do that is to work.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What about the nurses? Are they what are they looking for in regards to proof that you've had the immunisation or vaccination? Sorry.
Nurses for the construction industry?
No, it wasn't there. Robin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Robin, do you know?
The nurses are all carrying around their Centrelink evidence, and they can produce that. They're all, when they were first injected, it wasn't recorded within their Medicare Centrelink, but by the time they had the second one, those that didn't have them both showing up on their Centrelink Medicare information actually were ringing up and were really upset that they couldn't show that they'd had them both, but now they can, and so that's what they'd be looking for. My argument is that it's none of their business what I discuss with my doctor, and I've been asked to go to my GP, which I have been, and I said, prove to me it's not going to kill me. And he couldn't. And I said, and who's going to look after my children? I'm a single mum. Who's going to look after my children and pay for my disability? And I want you, and I took it back to the human resources and said, you sign this form to say that you will look after me and my children for the rest of my life if I can no longer work at full capacity. And they wouldn't. So I said, oh, well, I can't have it then. That's all there is to it. So.
My daughter's partner is in the construction industry, and they're asking for the little card that you get from the GP that's just signed, and they've been able to find some forged ones. So if anyone's looking, might be able to find some help. But yeah, it's against the whole, we standing in your truth and everything. But if it resolves somebody's position, then, as you say, it's our private business, and who else needs to know whether you've had it or not?
Helen, do you know the fine? If there's a fine for someone intruding on your privacy and asking you something like that, like for proof? Because
you're asking me?
Yeah, because
none of those fines stand up in court. None of them.
None of them. I wouldn't pay one, except one don't pay. I went to Melbourne last week to see my daughter, and if I'd been pulled up and received a fine, I wouldn't be paying it. No one's ever paid one that
that's
refused
not,
to.
But that was, but the intrude, like you don't have to show proof that you've had the. You don't have to show. Don't have to say that you haven't had it. All of that's private, and it's an invasion of privacy under the Act. What is it? 1988 Act. So for someone, can you charge someone for insisting? I think actually I have a nurse friend who has actually done that. She's gone and got the evidence to show a shop owner that she didn't have to wear her mask, and that she could get them serve them, have them charged for invasion of your privacy. It is as simple as that, but it's not.
Well, there's letters I put in the chat on the website Solutions Empowerment. They're on the freebies page. They are free. They're already crafted for you to give to an employer or to give to anyone who's. So I have a notice on my car, I have it on my door, I have it on my mailbox. So if anyone comes to my house, they're going to be trespassing, if they're not a friend. And there's letters already crafted to give to a shopkeeper, to give to an employer, and it says like they're various sort of letters, so take your pick. And with the school system, I worked with Anita, and we put together a whole list of steps. We extracted it from Solutions, Empowerment and Freedom and Rights. And also Anita got other books on the like equity law. And we put it together, all the steps you do if you want your child to be safe at school. So if for employers, for workplaces, for shops, the letters are on Solutions Empowerment. All you got to do is go to the freebies page, click on it, open it. Is that the one you want? No, click on the next one, and you'll find it drafted there, where if you hand it to your employer, let's say, it says, if I were to agree, not that you do, but if I were to agree to having this injection, you know, they need to put their name, and they need to agree that for the rest of your life, they'll give you this much money if you got this injury. And you're actually dictating the terms to them, that if they're requiring it for your work, if you have this injury, they're going to have to pay you this much, and this injury, and this, and this, and this. And if they don't sign it, there's a clause. If they do not sign it and return it, that means you are permitted. It's like if they don't respond, it acts as a permit for you to continue working in that workplace. And it's all structured with the correct legal words. So it's fantastic.
So I might just conclude a little bit on this here, because we're not all in the situation where we can go down this path of giving letters and insisting that we keep our jobs. Because the way the construction industry is set up, and other industries as well, basically they'll say, if you're not vaccinated by this date, you won't be dismissed and you won't be let go, but we probably won't need you for the next job. And so what I want to make very clear here is that this is not about having an injection. This is not about shedding. This is so much bigger than this. It's not about wearing a mask. And that's the point of this protocol, this rise above. It's a spiritual protocol. It's a physical protocol. And I can put my confidence behind it, that it is going to do the best it can. If we need to be in the situation to make these choices, we can all sit here and say, yeah, I'm not having it. But if your partner has to have it, or your son has to have it, or your mum has to have it, you need to have something that's going to make you have confidence that this person's going to be okay. And I have that in that protocol. And also, it's so important for everyone here to know that if you choose to have it, that's a 3D human situation we're in, and we're not spiritual beings right now. We're still humans. We still have to earn an income. So it's really important to highlight that, because if you have to have it, don't judge yourself, okay? That's a choice you're making, and you've still got all of your rights. You've still got all of your freedoms. You're still in charge of your health. You're still in charge of your own body's frequency and your own body's ability to heal itself. So you're not damned if you have to have it, okay? Because it's just really hard to put pressure on people who are in this situation. I'm not saying go ahead and have it by any means, but you know, this is realistic for some people that they don't want to have it at all, but they're having it. So if you're going to make that choice, make peace with it, because it's the resistance in your body and your anger and frustration at the government and at the system. That's what's making you ill more than the side effects or the shedding. So find a way to come to peace with it. And that's outlined in the first 3 steps of the book. Or come see a healer, do your meditation, do your journaling, walk in nature, whatever it is, because we've got to come to peace with whatever decision we make. And there's no such thing as a wrong decision, okay? Because whatever happens, we're all learning from that experience. You know, it's all bringing us back inside ourselves. If something unfortunate does happen, it's teaching us to go back inside ourselves to meet our own needs and to be self-sufficient. to make friends with ourselves, to see what is on the deeper side, all those shadow emotions that haven't been dealt with. That's the whole point of being human and being here in this world right now. And if you having some side effects from the jab or shedding is going to make you come in and make friends with yourself and let all those shadows come up and face those demons and find inner peace, so be it, because that's your challenge. And we welcome the challenges because that's how we evolve. So this is bigger than just this stuff we're talking about here. This is the whole collective. And we're bringing in this new world by meditating, by allowing our shadows to come up, to face those uncomfortable places inside ourselves. So there's my little rant. Because Candice, we're here for you. I've had amazing number of clients, patients this week wanting to buy pine needle tea, fulvic acid, the patches, the works, because they know what they're in for and they want to arm themselves so that they're prepared and they're doing the best they can for their bodies. So would anybody else like to share?
Can I just make a point about that? Because my daughter at 24 really wanted to take the vaccine and there was nothing I could do about it. She just thought I was stupid with my arguments, really ignorant. And I ran the gamut on my Facebook page, throwing everything out there because I knew that I had to do everything I possibly could within my power to do something to stop her. And of course, I thought it would backfire, and it probably did. But the thing is, I have never seen her look so well or healthy or relaxed as at this point in time. And if she hadn't done it and fitted in with her friends and done what she thinks is the civic duty, I hadn't heard that that was the term that the government's putting out there. But, you know, there's something really important in that's given her a wellspring of healing in another way. And I really see that that's important. It's like what you say. And she also knows that there are healing things for anything that might be going on in her body. And I think she's becoming more open to me to accept those if she feels that she needs them. And somehow my acceptance of her has opened up our relationship more.
Well, yeah, that's beautiful.
That's quite a healing. Yeah. So I just have to have faith that this is going to be all right. Yeah.
All right. So why don't we? I'm just conscious of the time. So I do apologize for those who haven't had the opportunity to share. We will share more after the meditation. It's just in case anyone wants to get off the call, then you can. Let's go into meditation. So we can just get comfortable and just feel where you're rested. And just taking a nice, slow, deep breath and just noticing where the breath comes in. Just notice if it moves down past the throat or if it can move down into the chest. On your next inhale, observing how deep that breath moves. If it moves deep into your chest, maybe even down into your diaphragm. And just softening your shoulders. Softening and lining up your neck. And if you want to, a nice big exhale, letting out a little moan, a little groan, and just releasing. Scooping up deep down inside of your belly, scooping up all of that fear, all of the frustration, all of the anger, scooping it all up. And on your next exhale, purging it all out, just letting it go, making a big mess in front of you so it can all be dissolved as it's being released as you breathe in again. Getting a big excavator in there and scooping it all up, scooping up all that heavy energy. all that nervousness in your tummy, all of that ickiness in the bottom of your womb, all of that space, scooping it all up and purging it out, breathing it out. Bringing your awareness to deep inside, softening your eyebrows, unclenching your jaw, relaxing your tongue, feeling your shoulders relaxing even more. And we now open up our crown, bringing your awareness to the space above your crown. And we call in our guides, spirit, angels, and all those beings who have passed over, who make up part of our spiritual support team. We welcome you here in this present moment. And we call in the white light, the golden white light, as it pours down through the crown of our head, opening up that crown so that you can be a vessel, absorbing and taking in all of that healing energy of the universe, source energy, all that is, and bringing in the energy of your highest self, down through your crown. Just feel it moving through you. Feel the top of your head expanding wider and wider as that funnel opens up, and it's moving down through your head, down through your neck, and feel your body wiggling and moving and stretching so you can feel that energy moving through you. And as that golden white light moves down, it clears your third eye, opening up your intuition, hearing, seeing, knowing, feeling. And as it moves down through your throat, it is cleansing, giving you your voice to speak your truth, and also to know when grace is adorned us and when it is best to keep our thoughts to ourselves. Bringing in more of that golden white light, that wisdom from all that is, down through the crown. And we rest here in the heart space, activating the heart, opening up the heart, and feeling the expansion, feeling the connectedness of everyone here in this group as we amplify and intensify and grow the powerful energy of us all here being connected in this moment. Breathe in deep into the heart space here as you connect in with your inner being, your inner knowing. And we allow the stillness and the calm to enjoy this space here. Just checking in with your little inner being now, that feeling inside of you, that inner voice. What is it that you need right now? Give yourself a big hug, reminding yourself that you're okay, that you are supported, you've got your own back, and that you are safe here right now. Right here in this moment, you are free. Right here in this moment, you have your sovereignty. Right here in this moment, it feels good to be you. There is so much love here for you. Enjoy this space. Big breath in. And we keep moving this golden white light down through the crown, down through the third eye, through the throat, through the heart, and we activate the solar plexus, just around the chest. Vibrant life force, standing in our power, knowing that we've got this and trusting there is a bigger reason for this. And this is all worth it. We're all transcending. And we keep breathing, and we breathe in more light and bring it in down through the crown as we move down into the sacral area, just below the belly button. And from here, we're going to activate our creative energy, calm our nerves, calm our emotions, and know that we're calm. We're the calm in the middle of the storm. Nothing can rock us. And if it does rock us, we've got the tools, we've got the skills to bring us back to calm. And now as this golden white light pours down through the crown of the head, we keep filling ourselves up, and we can see this pathway of light moving down our center. And from here, we're going to travel and allow this pathway of light to split down both of our legs. And we're going to meet the points at our knees on both legs. And we're going to let that light travel down to our feet. And we are creating now a human tuning fork in our body. The handle of the tuning fork is coming down through the crown of the head, where we have a handle on life, where we're in charge of ourselves. And from our pelvic area, where this light splits down both of our legs, this is the fork of the tuning fork, where we learn to play our own musical note, our own healing frequency, the most powerful frequency known to you, our own unique sound. Taking a nice deep breath and feel those pathways of light moving down through your center and then sharing down both legs. And go ahead now and keep that energy flowing down into the earth, connecting both of your feet into the earth, and feel that beautiful coming home feeling. Feel the richness, the warmness, the soothing love and support of Mother Earth as she holds us so tight and so close to her heart that we feel so safe. Feel her angelic wings wrapped around us now as we melt into her arms. So peaceful, so calm. And that beautiful sense of knowing that everything is working out well. This is so much bigger than what we know. Big breath in now, and this time we're drawing up through from the center of the earth, drawing up as we turn the direction of the energy around now, back up, moving the energy and feeling it move up through your legs. You may feel tingles, you may feel warmth, you may see colors, sensations as it moves back up through your legs, up through your feet, up through your knees, back up through your pelvis as this energy now meets again at your sacral chakra there and your base chakra. And we're going to follow that energy up, and it starts to intensify and amplify even more now because we're drawing on the divine wisdom of Mother Earth. Rise up now, rise up to your heart space and just rest here for a moment, taking another deep breath and feel if it feels any different now that we have got the energy, the combined union of sacred masculine and divine feminine here in our heart space. Whew. Dance with this energy, flow with this energy, let your body move if it feels right for you. Oh, stretch or yawn, smile to yourself. Your whole body is so grateful that you're here present and honoring your sacred temple that is your body, your home. It feels good to be you. It feels so good to be you. And now, whilst we're here in the middle of the handle of your own unique tuning fork, we're all going to make the unique sound that we vibrate. And as you make the sound in a moment on your exhale, you're going to hold the intention that this is the vibration that your body feels in every cell. And as your body feels this vibration, this sound that your body's making, your cells are being cleansed. Toxins are being removed from your cells and being taken away and cleared out through your lymph. You're also going to hold the intention that when your body makes this unique vibrating sound, your unique tuning fork sound that is special to you, your DNA is going to be repaired and upgraded. It is going to be strengthened. And it is also going to be so powerfully, uniquely yours as you draw in your DNA from your highest self. This DNA is more advanced, more intelligent, and stronger than your original DNA. Calling in your crystalline matrix, the DNA from your highest self. This will resonate through your body when we make this unique healing sound, your own frequency. So we begin now, we're going to do 3 hums. And it doesn't matter what sound you make, you can change your sound. You don't have to do the same one. We're going to do 3 hums and feel it vibrating through your body on each exhale. Imagining that your body is a tuning fork and it's being amplified through every cell of your body and your DNA. So let's go. Let's breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Make it count. Now rest in the sound bath of your own healing frequency. Turn it up, make it stronger. Move the feeling through your body. Soak up the buzzing, the warmth, the tingling, the colors. This feeling of coming home, where you are safe, where you are loved, and you are supported. Big breath in. Breathing out any residual energy that's not serving you now. It's all gone. And bringing in now your dear loved ones. Imagine giving them a hug. Those you love the most, giving them a big warm hug right now. Feel them there in your heart and imagine wrapping your arms around them, holding them, feeling their warmth, sending them healing energy. When we are in this healing state, we are extremely powerful. Just a few seconds for each person is plenty. Bring in the collective consciousness and all of humanity now. And give them a hug, however that feels right for you. And bring in Mother Earth now, giving her a big hug, loving her and having deep gratitude for her. And now give yourself a big hug. Just loving all that you are, all this journey that you've traveled, and knowing that you're okay. And you're going to travel this journey ahead of you. And you will keep growing. You will keep learning. And you're going to be okay. And coming back to the body. Feel your legs, wiggle your toes. Feel your arms, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your nose. And enjoy this space. Milking this feeling now, soaking it all up. This is for you. This moment is for you. Smile to your body, smile to yourself. Say thank you to your body. And trusting that your body knows how to heal itself. And when you're ready, coming back to this space, opening your eyes. And just seeing how beautiful all of us are here. Look at all you angels. So pretty, so beautiful. Love you all so much. So I didn't get to do the declaration of self-sovereignty because of time. So it is on page 6 in the ebook. If you don't have the ebook yet, please get in touch with me. The declaration of self-sovereignty is also an audio recording on YouTube, and there is a link to it in the ebook. So you don't have to read it, you can just listen to it. I do encourage you to do it each day, or especially if you're feeling flat or down, because that is when some of these heavy energies can sneak their way in and can be a little manipulative. So this prayer or blessing is powerful at cleansing, protecting, and making a clear signal. No. Okay, so I feel that our group is coming to a little bit of a close for the formality side of things. We can open up for discussion and questions after. So just before we close this space, I'd like to let you all know that it's just divine having you all here. I feel loved and supported. So thank you. That's what I'm taking away from this group. And if you feel like you got something from this session tonight, please feel free to share it with your friends. I do have a donation button on my website if you'd like to make a contribution in exchange for what you received. And I am also running my online Reiki level 1 and AromaReiki level 1, which is the healing practice that I do in my clinic. That is on the 14th and 15th of October. And I have a 25% discount going at the moment. So let's just close this space and then we can have some discussion. Before we do that, could I ask each of us to put our, oh, do we need a group photo? No, we don't need a group photo today. That's okay. All right. So what I'd like to do is just get us all to give ourselves a big group hug. So again, just hold your arms around you. Thank everyone for being here. Thanks all of you for sharing your stories, and those who didn't get to share your stories, your answer to the sharing 3 questions before, please hang on, because I really, really do want to hear what you're navigating at the moment. And so I just want to say thank you, guides, spirit angels, for this beautiful healing space today. Thank you for allowing us to honor ourselves and to send out loving and healing energy to all of the planet, all of the leaders of our world, all of our people on the front line, and to ourselves. Thank you for this healing space. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and we can keep chatting. And please, one last little thing, if you haven't joined the messenger group, please go ahead and do that so we can share throughout the week so we can stay connected. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. There we go, stop.